Tonight, one town grapples with a string of horrific murders, where each corpse found is coiled and contorted into a gruesome knot.
Do you think he was assaulted?
His body's covered in seasoning. He was literally salted.
Will detectives find the Pretzel Man before he kills again?
Hey, man, don't get bent out of shape.
Find out today on the Distorted View matinee movie, 1977's Twisted. Hey, freaks, it's Friday, May 2nd, 2025. Coming up on the program today, which country singing superstar was programmed to eat pussy? Plus, AI Down syndrome porn. Welcome to a slow new world, freaks. The world's longest case of Jock itch continues, and the Trump administration is finally doing something about chemtrails. Distorted View Daily proudly presents Losing Your Mind Over Dates. So many dates.
Dates, running through my mind. What happened January 4th, 1809?
'Twas for the Braille system of reading for the blind. Dates keep running through my mind. What happened March 1896?
That's when they made a carriage go without using a switch.
You mean the horseless carriage with the pretty leather seats?
The first automobile ever seen on Detroit streets. What happened June 15th, 1752?
Then Franklin was out on a cold and windy night. Alone on a hill, he was flying a kite. Then out of the blue came a bolt of flashing light.
Dates, running through my mind. January, February, June, July, I can't remember dates, running through my mind. Each and every year I'm getting more and more behind.
What happened 1825 in Buffalo, New York?
We made that town the first inland seaport.
With a team of mules and a gal named Sal, we towed that barge on the Erie Canal.
What happened in the world of sports 1891? The start of a new game had only just begun.
A man took a basket and hung it on the wall. That was the start of the game of basketball. Dates, running through my mind. January, February, June, July, I can't remember dates, running through my mind. Each and every year I'm getting more and more behind. Dates.
It's Distorted View Daily with Tim Henson.
Do you know you're a whore? You may not say you're a whore, but you is one.
Yeah, why the fuck I shitted on myself? Bitch!
Like, once my dick gets wet, I'm coming. Period, you know?
My laugh is fucking stupid. Hey, freaks, Tim back here with you one more time as we end the week with the Friday show. Not too long ago, someone called into the voicemail line and said, hey, you need some new sound bites to play during the intro music. So today I picked out a few new ones. We'll add those into the rotation. See, I'm always responding to your concerns. Listener feedback is very important. Anyway, one of those sound clips was from American singer and songwriter David Allan Coe.
Like, once my dick gets wet, I'm coming. Period, you know?
Yeah, he was big in the 1970s as part of the outlaw country scene. His biggest hits, according to Wikipedia, include You Never Even Called Me By My Name, Long-Haired Redneck, and covers of Would You Lay With Me in a Field of Stone, sung by Tanya Tucker, and Johnny Paycheck's rendition of Take This Job and Shove It. More recently, he has written songs for Kid Rock. He also worked with Dimebag Darrell of Pantera before, that ended tragically. Journalist Neil Strauss described Coe's material on the albums Nothing Sacred and Underground album as, quote, among the most racist, misogynistic, homophobic, and obscene songs recorded by a popular songwriter. I'm interested. Now, over the years here on the podcast, we have featured David Allan Coe, but we haven't spent a lot of time on the man himself.
Fucking in the butt.
Yeah, like I'm sure we played that song a few times. It's in my library.
I'd like to fuck the shit out of you.
Okay, so he does romantic music as well as standard country. He was the 1970s version of Celine Dion, I guess, or something. Anyway, the reason why I bring David Allan Coe up today is because I found this great interview with him from the 1970s on a TV show called Midnight Blue. hosted by Al Goldstein. That might not be a name you recognize. He was the publisher of Screw magazine. I don't know if you want to call it a magazine or not. It's a literary journal is what it is. No, it's, hardcore porn, basically. So Al Goldstein has had this show on public access, and on one episode, he interviewed David Allan Coe, and here's what he had to say.
Would you consider yourself a good fuck?
No.
Why? You selfish hump?
I'm not a good fuck. I eat pussy, and I'm good at that, and I'm sort of programmed to eat pussy and get my old ladies off it and then fuck them, because like once my dick gets wet, I'm coming. Period. I'm not no marathon fucker. I can't fuck for 2 or 3 hours. It's 3 minutes. Good night, and I'm gone.
Yeah, this is a good guy, right? You learn so much about a man by the way he fucks. He's like, I know my limitations. I get hard, I get my dick wet, I come. So I eat pussy, and I eat it good. So he is about pleasuring the ladies.
But I mean, the other kind of sex I can get into for long periods of time. But the minute the dick goes in the hole, that's it. It's like it's over.
Is there anything you would not do sexually? I mean,
there's a lot of things I wouldn't.
Would you eat an asshole?
No, I don't think I would.
No. You got to draw the line somewhere.
I'm probably very conservative as far as sex is concerned. It's like, first of all, I sleep in my own bed. I have my own room. All my wives have their own room.
I guess there is more to learn about him. He's got multiple wives.
The minute you say you got 7 wives, everybody, oh boy, they're all eating pussies and they're doing this and they're doing that. Well, sometimes that does happen, it happens, You got,
Why else have 7 wives,
6 women in a bed, they sometimes eat each other's pussies. And you get to watch or participate or whatever. But it's not a big common thing to do that.
This is such a revealing interview. It's fascinating.
The self-love you have, I mean, do you really still believe that women go around dreaming that they're going to suck your cock? Do you still believe that your dick is the great gift to them?
No. First of all, sex is probably the last thing ever on my mind.
Food is the head of sex?
No, food neither. They have to tell me when to eat.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. When you've got 7 wives, you can fuck whenever you want to. It's just like, it's not an issue anymore. Just, it's not a big deal.
David Allan Coe is what's on my mind. Promoting the career. It's like, I'm making movies. I'm a magician. I'm a ventriloquist.
Dear God. Is there anything he can't do? I obviously wasn't alive in the 1970s. I don't know how big David Allan Coe actually was. By the sounds of it, he should have been the top entertainer worldwide. What happened to this guy? Where did he go? I'm focusing a lot on David Allan Coe, but I have to say, this guy, Al Goldstein, the publisher of Screw magazine, I'm guessing he's dead at this point. But man, what an interviewer he was. Take a listen to this probing question.
Would you go down on a woman who has the rag on?
You listen to these interviews with David Letterman or Conan, Stephen Colbert or whatever, and they always cite people like Johnny Carson or Jack Benny, those like old school talk show hosts as their inspiration or heroes. Fuck that. All these talk show hosts ask the same types of questions. Not Al Goldstein. Do you eat out pussy that's on the rag?
No. It's like in my family, they call it quarantine. The girl must come and tell me when she's on her period and she's in quarantine. That's just, you got to understand that I went to prison when I was 7 years old. I got out of prison. I had my first piece of ass when I was 27 years old. So I have no sexual experience. I don't like big-titted women.
That's what I read, that you like small
I like
women.
Small-titted women, yes.
Is he saying that because he's experienced some sort of arrested development where he went to prison at 7, so he kind of has the sexual desires of a young kid, so he wants his female partners to look young or be young?
I don't like big tits. And the reason being, I don't identify big tits as being feminine, because feminine to me was the guy in prison with a nice ass.
Whoa, that took a turn. This guy just keeps getting more and more interesting. Where have you been all my life, David Allan Coe?
Right. So that's how I identify with femininity.
I've always heard it argued that guys who like sort of women built like high fashion models, there's sort of a latent homosexuality. In your case, it's a real...
Now, Patty told me that too, and it's probably true that it's not that as I'm fucking her, calling her Sam, or thinking that she's a actually man or something, but probably in my own twisted brain, growing up identifying that with being feminine.
All right, okay. I think we've heard enough from David Allen Coe today, but wow, just a fascinating individual. I believe he's still alive. I don't know if he's still making music, how many wives he has. We need an update on this guy. All right, let's move on. I do have some other audio I wanted to share with you today. You know, I'm always looking to hop on to the newest TikTok or Instagram trend. The trick is to get in on the ground floor just as a trend is taking off, you know, before social media is saturated with thousands or tens of thousands of the same kind of videos. You got to strike while the algorithm is hot, and I think I have found the next big thing. That next big thing is wearing skimpy clothes, which is nothing new, using filters to give yourself that special look. Again, nothing new. Every single video features, you know, a woman smoothing her skin, giving herself freckles. That's not what I'm talking about here. Notice I said special filter. Yes, people are making themselves look like they have Down syndrome, and they're posting retarded thirst traps. Not only could this be the hottest social media trend, it might just be the next big kink in pornography.
There's a very disturbing trend happening on Instagram where women are using fake AI filters to make themselves look like they have Down syndrome in order to sell more OF subscriptions. I'm not talking about one or two Instagram accounts. I'm talking about multiple. So creepy, and they get so much engagement, it works. The captions are things like this.
The caption is, who's ready to eggplant emoji a Down syndrome 18-year-old Asian? You guys can't see this because it's an audio podcast, but I am raising my hand. I am ready for this. Hey, talk about equality, right? Why can't an 18-year-old Asian get dick down good? I don't know what the name of this filter is, but what it supposedly does, according to the screenshots, it keeps your body the same, right? It really is just a face filter that kind of gives you that downsy look girls are after these days. Kind of changes the topography of your head. It's something, man. I gotta look into this more. I've got to find the name of this Down syndrome filter.
It's terrible. What is this? There are so many layers to how fucked up this onion is, but I'm gonna try to peel through that. The fact that we are hypersexualizing people who have Down syndrome is disgusting.
It's disgusting. You know, just because someone has Down syndrome doesn't mean they don't deserve love. They don't deserve physical contact that they crave. And if they want to be an OnlyFans model, they should be allowed to.
The thing, without demand, there's no product. So obviously there's a demand of people who want to consume that kind of content.
Oh, you bitch. Now she's blaming the people who watch these videos. Humans are a very curious species. This is unusual. You don't often see Down syndrome girls flashing their gine. So yeah, some of us are going to click to see what's up with that. Let's stick with blaming the people who are doing this, or the person who created the Down syndrome face filter on Instagram.
Which is why so many people were coming out with that kind of content. What the hell is going on with Meta's moderation? Because I know y'all love to censor people who talk about politics or news or things that you guys don't like, but then you're allowing accounts to post this kind of stuff. That is insane. First of all, this is just such a violation of AI in so many different levels, and this really...
It's actually not a violation if you think about it, because the person who's face is being altered is consenting to it, right? They're putting the filter on themselves. It's not like we're creating Scarlett Johansson pornography. Ultimately, it's not much different than any other AI face filter that contours your jawline or makes your eyes a bit bigger or whatever.
Is that we need way more policy and way more structure.
Which gives you more of a, a potato head.
When it comes to the use of AI. If this is the beginning, I can't even imagine what it's going to look like.
Shut the fuck up. So that's like a random Instagram person complaining about what she saw. I think the party's officially over, though, because the news has caught wind of this. And so, now there's going to be a huge crackdown.
This woman might look like she has Down syndrome, but she doesn't. It's an AI filter. Videos have been taken from the account of a 16-year-old girl and used to make a fake profile of someone with Down syndrome.
I remember when I was in high school, the worst thing you could be called probably was faggot, which I was called many times. But the second worst thing would be retarded, right? Now, it not only doesn't bother them, they're trying to make themselves look retarded. It's almost a compliment. Thanks. That's what I was going for. We are living in strange times, freaks. Seriously, though, if anyone knows the name of that filter or how I can get a hold of it, I want to try something. All right, moving on now. We've got a U-Tard update for you. This is a TikTok user named guy named Joe. And that might not ring a bell. That's okay. What if I say the words jock itch? Does that help? Yes, Joe has a very bad case of jock itch. Here is just one of the many videos where he brings it up.
I had this jock itch for 20 years, and it got really bad.
Jock itch is going to get bad if you let it fester for 2 decades.
I think I have it clear now, although there's no way to be sure. There's one little spot on my leg. I did a lot of treatment to it, so I don't know if it's there or not.
What's funny is if you go through his videos, and he does post a lot, the jock itch, ebbs and flows. It comes and goes. Here's another video. This is from last year, I think around September.
Like I've said before, I still have this rash and little red spots. Now, I can sort of confirm it's jock itch ringworm, but I can't completely confirm.
He then goes on to explain how it's probably not even jock itch. It's something worse. Jock itch is more than just a few red dots. If you've got bumps and sores and stuff on your cock shaft, it's deeper than jock itch, and that's pretty much what he confirms.
Because I've been to multiple physicians regarding this. I'm digging up the whole backstory of the thing now. Dated a woman and got a rash, and then went to I think I went to the STD clinic first, got tested positive for chlamydia.
Yeah, so I don't know why you think it's jock itch. Anyway, we've played similar videos from this guy before. Like I said, though, I do have an update. Here is a video Joe posted a mere 3 days ago.
So I'm still working on OnlyFans, but I've run out of ideas.
Yes, after talking about his jock and its itch for about a year, he thought, you know what? It's time to show the people what all the fuss is about. He created an OnlyFans account where he displays his cock and balls. And you know what? People have subscribed. Not a ton of people. He's made like $380. I don't know if that's lifetime or just this month. Oh, last 30 days. Last 30 days, that's not bad. Little side hustle there. He seems to be burnt out already, though.
I think I'm better at giving speeches than doing adult entertainment.
No, absolutely not. Many of his videos, he just drones on and talks about stuff no one cares about. The only reason we're tuning in is to hear about his jock itch and his STDs.
But because I'm well endowed, it's the direction, I should be in.
He didn't choose the porn industry. The porn industry chose him. I know what you guys are saying right now. Well endowed? What? He says that a lot in his videos, right? And every time people in the comments are like, well endowed, really? And there's always replies from people who have seen his dick and they're like, not really. Maybe slightly above average, but not enough to brag about your cock size. And once you factor in the fact that he's got jock itch, he's got scabs and sores all over his face and neck, it's like, I would rather look at a tiny dick than whatever the hell is going on here, When you take everything into consideration as a whole, you're going to want to pass on My Name is Joe. Actually, there is a subreddit for this guy named Joe1. And, of course, someone did post his nudes. And I don't even want to say he's well endowed. He looks average to me. To be fair, he's not erect in these photos. Although the very first comment is, it's not as well endowed as I imagine. On the plus side, I don't see a fungal shell. I don't see any visible ringworm. Apparently, though, the jock itch is still there, and it's getting worse. So Joe has a new regimen.
So now I'm up to twice a day, Fungi Clear, this Old Spice body wash.
Okay, that's not going to help with your jock itch.
And Jock Itch Powder, Preparation H, Healing Overnight Gold Bond Lotion, and Emuade Max, all to clear jock itch that hasn't cleared. So this has been going on for a year and a half or longer of me treating this twice a day with no resolution.
Dude, I think it's just a part of you now. Treat it like a child. You're never going to get rid of that. Well, that's what Joe has been up to. Good checking in with him. And finally, before we get into the news today, I've got an altercation here that took place in a McDonald's drive-thru. The argument stems from the drive-thru employee asking the customer to park their car and wait for their food. The idea is, this will keep the line moving rather than just having this car at the drive-thru window waiting for 5-10 minutes until their order's up. It is frustrating. Lord Douche has told me, especially at Taco Bell, where they always screw up our order. He's like, next time they tell you to go park and wait, you say no. You just wait at the drive-thru window. That'll make them speed up, but I don't think that would actually work, right? It certainly didn't in this case.
Dab it, right? You guys pay with the dab it, right?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, sir.
If you're telling me,
matter, sir.
If you're telling me you're not giving me my food, I want my money back.
I didn't say that. I'm not giving you your food. I just request you guys to fresh food, right?
This isn't
fresh.
I don't want to park.
Celebrity McDonald's. This is Edmonton, Alberta, girl. Okay?
I'm not
You're
parking.
In Edmonton. Where are you from?
I'm not sure what the bitch in the car is screeching about. This isn't a celebrity McDonald's. Yeah, we know. The customers really are acting like they're never going to get their food. The McDonald's employee, the only thing they said was, can you park in one of the spots and we'll bring you out your meal when it's ready.
In my car.
Where are you from?
English.
Where are you from?
Get a career.
Seriously?
For your life.
Yeah, now it's just getting personal.
Seriously?
You're so sad.
Seriously?
Anyways, grab us some food.
Okay, I was so nice to you guys. Why are you using that word for me?
I don't even know why you're talking to the passenger of my vehicle.
Well, because your bitch wife is screaming stuff at the employee, so the employee is responding. What sort of fucking comment is that?
When I ordered the food at the window, and I'm telling you that I don't want to park in reserve stall number 2.
And they are using F word for me like single time. You guys listen to her.
You're telling me that you want me to park. You're telling me that you want me to park. You're telling me that you want me to park because you're on a timer to make your time good at McDonald's.
That is some bullshit. They get in trouble if the food doesn't come out, quickly. And so this is the way that they can keep the line moving without actually giving these people their food. I wonder how McDonald's corporate feels about that move. The having people park in a spot and wait. Still, most of the time, it's not like a big deal. It doesn't take that long. You don't even have to do anything extra. You just, park and then wait a couple minutes and then an employee brings you out their food. We've all been in that position, right? All right, so as if this isn't bad enough, so the guy is demanding his money back. He paid with a debit card, but he doesn't want his money back on the card. He wants cash.
I don't care. I don't care about your time at McDonald's or how long it takes to make my food or about your timing. I ordered food. I want my food. If you're not getting my food, give me my money back.
Of course, I'm giving money back. You guys tap your card.
I lost.
You guys tap your card.
I lost my debit card. I'm sorry, I can't find it.
Okay, well now you know this is not a good faith argument. He's just straight up lying. How do you lose? You haven't been anywhere. You just tapped your card 30 seconds ago. You haven't gotten out of your car or anything.
The lady just tapped on her phone.
I know, but I lost it. I can't find it.
No,
I'm sorry.
Cash back, sweetie.
I'm not giving cash.
We're not moving. We have you all on camera.
So they want cash back. And in the comments, someone pointed out that this is kind of a scam that is known in the fast food or customer service industry. So the idea is the person taps with their debit card, right? or credit card, whatever, gets into an argument with staff, demands a refund, and demands it in cash. Then the second he gets home, he calls his credit card company and disputes the charge, that initial charge on his credit card. So basically, he walks away with some free money.
I have a camera too, whatever you guys said, F-word for me.
It's going to be a big lawsuit tomorrow. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm phoning my lawyer. Like, you and McDonald's is getting sued big time.
Oh, I'm sure corporate's upset about that. A lawsuit over a $5 fucking chicken McNugget.
Seriously?
100%.
Did I say something wrong to you guys?
Your whole family's going to go back
No.
to...
Nothing to do with me. I don't even know why you're...
It's kind of comforting to know that even in Canada, people are racist pieces of shit. Where are you from? Your whole family's going to go back to Guatemala.
Talking
Whatever.
To my passenger,
And do
but
you know
anyways...
where my family lives? Seriously?
Bro, shut up. You're having a meltdown. Work. You're here to get paid to get work. Get off the phone and work.
They're all on their phones filming this.
Why are you
I do work.
What are you doing? You don't
look
work.
at you guys.
She can't work because you're blocking the drive-thru.
You guys don't listen to me at all. If you need a money back, I said you guys money, you tap your card, get your money back.
Don't worry, I got 50,000
Right?
followers on Instagram. I'm going to post this video. You're like,
I don't care about it.
You're like, this
I
is
don't
going,
care how
I
many
won't get my
followers
cash
you
then.
are.
I want my cash.
You didn't pay cash. You paid with a debit.
It wasn't-
Manager, you're a loser.
It's in my debit card. I don't have the debit card.
I like how they bleep the word loser out.
Well, how do you pay, sir?
Watch your language.
I tapped on the phone.
Yeah, you can tap on
I
it.
don't have the phone. I'm sorry.
That's the lady phone, right?
He's holding his phone. He's literally filming her, and she's got her phone out too.
She doesn't want to tap her phone. She wants the money.
Wow, seriously, you guys. Right?
You can't rip me off for my money. Like, that's theft. I can
didn't
phone
say
the
that.
police.
I said
I can phone the police and have you charged with theft.
You can call.
Well,
I will.
As is the case many times, this video ends way too soon. There's not a satisfying resolution. Although I do have a little bit of an update. I don't know what happened with the guy. However, the annoying bitch who was in the car, she was fired from her job. What's really funny is, she was making fun of this McDonald's worker for, working at McDonald's. Meanwhile, that customer wasn't like a high-powered executive. She worked at Bud's Lounge, a family restaurant. The owner of Bud's Lounge, Marco, wrote in a post, "Last night a video was posted and has gone viral of an employee of ours in a McDonald's drive-thru. We don't condone that type of language, and she is no longer employed at this company." Someone asked, when did she leave? Or did you fire her? And he was like, oh, no, we fired her. It's a family-run business, and half of the employees were not even born in Canada. I was disgusted when I saw the video. There you go. More drama at McDonald's. And with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre twist to the fucked up news right now. Not a member of the Distorted View Sideshow? Let's rectify that situation. Help support this stupidity. Make sure the show goes on for a long, long time by becoming a member. Just go to distortedview.com right now. Sign up. When you do, you'll gain access to all the exclusive shows we do throughout the week. That includes full-length episodes like the one I did yesterday and earlier in the week on Tuesday, plus all the little bonus segment podcasts I'm doing for Sideshow Freaks now. We did one of those on Monday and then again on Wednesday. And yes, today I'll be doing a little mini podcast as well. If you want to hear this stuff, you got to sign up. Membership's very inexpensive, only $9 a month, even less when you opt for a quarterly, semi-annual, yearly, or lifetime membership. All major credit cards and PayPal accepted. Just go to distortedview.com. If you listen to Distorted View on Spotify, you'll do things a little bit different. Instead of going to the website, you just search for Distorted View in Spotify, and there's going to be a little link or button to tap onto inside of your Spotify app to sign up for Sideshow access. It all happens inside of Spotify. Once you sign up, you'll see all of the exclusive shows right inside of the app. So that's how you become a Sideshow freak if you're a Spotify listener. If you use Apple Podcasts, you're given the option. You can either do it inside of Apple Podcasts. Again, just search for Distorted View, or you can sign up through our website, distortedview.com. For more information, of course, distortedview.com. One final way to help support the show, we've got a Patreon account, patreon.com/distortedview. You can pledge as little as $1 over there. Every little bit helps. If you pledge at least $5, you get access to a special voicemail line where I will play your calls first. Okay, 3 very quick stories now. First up, put on them cowboy boots, because we's going to Texas.
We're going to Texas. We're going to Texas.
We need a new Texas song. The problem is you just can't top, a couple of mentally handicapped kids singing about it. It's going to be very hard to replace that, A Texas woman is facing serious charges after allegedly bringing alcoholic Jello shots to a children's Christmas celebration at an elementary school. Those little kids are not going to be able to hold their liquor. What a waste. Authorities in Tyler, Texas say 33-year-old Teresa Isabel Bernal has been charged with injury to a child following an incident that took place on December 20th at Jones Elementary School. According to an arrest affidavit, Bernal purchased the Jello shots from a small business she discovered through Facebook. Oh, she did this on purpose. That's funny. I thought maybe she made 2 trays of Jello shots. One with alcohol, for the office Christmas party or a family get-together, and then a tray of non-alcoholic Jello shots for her child's Christmas party at school. No, that's not the case. She just wanted to see these little bastards fucked up. She brought the Jello shots to the school where they were placed on a table alongside other student-shared snacks during a 5th grade holiday gathering. Officials say at least 15 students consumed the shots, which later caused many of them to suffer headaches and stomach issues. One child told investigators, "I'm gonna die. The room is spinning, and that special needs student is starting to look attractive to me." That's how you know he was drunk. One child told investigators he vomited multiple times. Fucking lightweight. Thrown up over... I understand you're only in 5th grade, but it's just one Jello shot. Vomited multiple times. I hope all your fellow students remember this when they're in high school and they don't invite you to any parties. He's lame. Another claimed he passed out, Jesus, after ingesting the gelatin treat. Another student admitted to eating 6 of the shots, nice, and just became dizzy. No throwing up, though. No passing out. All he said was, "Look, I became dizzy and I collapsed like a good drunk." He struggled to stand up afterwards. When questioned by a Tyler police officer, Bernal reportedly said she wasn't aware the treats contained alcohol, but did admit they had a different taste to them. She claimed she realized the shots were alcoholic only after students had already eaten some. A teacher told investigators she and 2 other staff members tasted the Jello shots. 2 believed they detected alcohol in them, though one couldn't be certain due to the flavoring. If you can't be certain that there's alcohol in the shots, those fucking things are too weak. I demand my money back from the person who sold you those things. Skip it on the vodka or gin or whatever the hell you put in Jello shots. It's normally vodka, right? Vodka or a tequila or, I don't know, rum. The teacher who hosted the party sent affected students to the nurse's office. By the time the situation had been addressed, only 4 students remained in her classroom. The party occurred just before winter break, and teachers were formally interviewed when they returned to campus on January 6th. Investigators noted that although some staff found it odd for Jello shots to be brought to a children's event, yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's a little strange. Bernal was a regular volunteer and had attended many school functions, so they didn't immediately question her intentions. Well, you know what I was thinking? When you remember, like, when you were a kid going to these elementary parties, they gave you just like a sliver of food. Like, they would cut the pizza into like 50 fucking slices. So I was thinking maybe that's why she put the Jello in tiny little cups. It's a portion control thing. Nope, turns out they were just standard alcoholic Jello shots. Ting! The Facebook-based sweets vendor reportedly included a visible disclaimer noting that the Jello shots were in fact made with Smirnoff vodka. Yeah, this is totally on the parent. Bernal was taken into custody on Monday and booked into the Smith County Jail. She was released the same day after posting a $75,000 bond. It's unclear whether she has legal representation. The school district said that Bernal is no longer permitted on school grounds and emphasized its commitment to student safety and well-being. Second story we have for you today. This story just happens to come from our most fucked up state. Say it with me.
Florida. Our most fucked up state.
So while this story does take place in Florida, it doesn't feature a Florida man per se. We'll call him an honorary Florida man. Just days after claiming a $167 million Powerball jackpot, a Kentucky native has landed in jail after allegedly assaulting a police officer during a hotel brawl in our most fucked up state, according to court documents. I'm looking at a photo of this guy. You know, he's holding that big Powerball jackpot winner check for $167 million. Of course, he's all smiles, but he just has this look about him. He's got sunglasses on. He's got a wife beater. He dressed up for the occasion, obviously. Scraggly beard, tattoos all over his body. Just like, he's trash. This is what happens when trash becomes rich. People like you and me, I know how we would handle the situation, right? Where we have $100 million. I would never be in a bad mood. Nothing would bother me anymore. I get pulled over for speeding. Big fucking deal. $150 speeding ticket. I fucking wipe my ass with $100 bills now. I probably want to get caught by cops. Like if I saw a police officer, just sitting on the side of the road, I would speed up my car so he would chase me. Just so he could give me a ticket. It's a charitable thing. This is how I back the blue. I'm giving the cops something to do, something easy. You pull me over, give me a ticket. I'm going to be super nice about it, joke around with him, maybe give him a tip, What the fuck do I care? I'm a millionaire 160 times over. Even if someone pisses me off, I don't know, cuts in line, or I'm at Starbucks and they take the last bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. I'm not going to be angry. No sweat off my sack. Instead of the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, I'll just sit down at a nice fancy restaurant. Red Lobster. I'll have a morning shrimp scampi. That's how I roll now. After I won $160 million. James Farthing, 50, was taken into custody Tuesday evening at the Tradewinds Resort in St. Pete Beach. Authorities say the lotto winner, who just days earlier was grinning alongside his mom and girlfriend at a press conference celebrating his big win, became violent during an altercation that turned physical. Farthing had been vacationing at the beachfront resort with his girlfriend. Imagine winning $160 million and the first thing you do is like, we're going on vacation to St. Pete Beach. I mean, dude, think a little bigger. Go on a Caribbean getaway. Go someplace exotic. He's like, I know what we're doing. I'm taking the whole family to Tampa. Gonna live the good life down there. Like, okay. Fucking Florida. All right, Farthing had been vacationing at the beachfront resort with his girlfriend, 42-year-old Jacqueline Fightmaster. The couple had appeared together at a Kentucky lottery event earlier in the day, posing with an oversized check and sharing that Farthing would be splitting the winnings from the April 26th draw with his 77-year-old mom. Things took a turn that night, though. According to police, Farthing allegedly punched another man in the face during an argument at the resort bar. See, this is someone who should not have money. He doesn't know how to operate at nice places. When the Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies attempted to break up the fight, Deputy Nicholas Ariostatico says Farthing kicked him in the face, causing visible swelling and redness under his right eye. I'm very curious as to pronounce this last name, and a listener called into the voicemail line not too long ago and said, why don't you use AI to pronounce it? See how close you got to the actual pronunciation. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. How did I pronounce it? Ariostatico.
Ariostatico.
Oh, wait, I'm using Mead's voice. He even did it with like a Hispanic accent.
Ariostatico.
Ariostatico. So even though I kind of pronounced it right, Mead is closer, right, with the accent.
Ariostatico.
Let me try a different voice here.
Ariostatico.
I really wasn't that far off. Ariostatico. I am Agador Spartacus.
Ariostatico.
Yes, Nicholas Ariostatico, says Farthing kicked him in the face, causing visible swelling and redness under his eye. Sue him for all he's worth. Body cam footage reviewed by the deputy reportedly shows Farthing intentionally winding up his right leg before delivering the blow. After the kick, the deputy ordered Farthing to surrender, but instead he allegedly attempted to flee the scene on foot. Meanwhile, Fightmaster was also creating a scene, reportedly intoxicated and shouting incoherently at other guests. She allegedly tried to fight people at the bar, making good on her last name. Fightmaster. Farthing now faces charges of battery on a law enforcement officer, which is a felony, as well as 2 misdemeanor counts. He was booked into the county jail Wednesday morning. While a $10,000 bond was set for the felony charge, Farthing remains in custody due to an outstanding parole violation warrant from Kentucky. Records show Farthing has a lengthy criminal history. This is exactly the person you want winning over $100 million. with past convictions for offenses including theft, drug trafficking, escape, tampering with evidence, and participating in an organized crime syndicate. What? He was on parole under the Kentucky Department of Corrections as of September 2023, with supervision originally scheduled to run through August 2025. I bet you that's going to be extended. You know, after his legal troubles are over with, he just needs to move to Florida. He is Florida man. That's total Florida man energy he's giving off there. All right, final story we have for you today. You know, the thing about RFK Jr. is he's like 50% with it, you know, has some good ideas, but then the other 50% is just cuckoo crazy banana stuff. He's all about like getting the bad things out of our food. For some reason, he's really into beef tallow. Okay. The problem I have, it's a timing thing with that. I'm glad we're getting rid of artificial ingredients, colorings and stuff. The problem is it's a bad time because food prices are currently high, and with all these tariffs and everything, like everything is just going to be more expensive. It's also way more expensive when you start taking out the really bad ingredients. Like, yes, I'd like to eat healthier, but maybe a year or two down the road after all these trade war issues have been settled, you know? I just feel like it's like going to be bad on top of bad price-wise for us. That's not all. RFK Jr., now leading the Department of Health and Human Services, is once again making headlines for embracing fringe theories. Oh boy, this time turning his attention to the long debunked notion of chemtrails. In a recent episode of Dr. Phil Primetime, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know Dr. Phil was back on TV. Apparently it airs on the Merritt Street streaming platform. Oh, okay. That's why I've never heard of it. Kennedy was featured in a town hall-style interview with host Dr. Phil. During the discussion, he endorsed concerns raised by an audience member. I believe I've got a clip of that interaction. Cuckoo, incoming.
My name is Emily, and my biggest concern is the stratospheric aerosol injections that are continuously peppered on us every day.
Peppered is a nice word. She could have said bombarded. You know, it's like the difference between aroma and odor. Aromas are nice. Lavender and jasmine and shit. Odors are like stink and sweat. Smegma. B.O. You know, it's the O in B.O. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to point that out. Poor choice of words using peppered.
Spheric aerosol injections that are continuously peppered on us every day. Bromium, aluminum, strontium. It's sprayed in our skies all day long. And I know you've talked to Dane Wigington about this. He seems to be one of the experts in the field.
Is there a question?
Yes.
Dr. Phil is cutting you short. Dr. Phil knows this is bullshit, right?
How do we stop it?
That is not happening in my agency. You know, we don't do that.
Okay, good. That's where you should have just ended it, right? It's something that's not happening. You know? I got to work on my RFK. That's a fun voice to do. It's not happening in my administration. He's the Dalek woman.
Do you like fresh children's piss?
I know the CIA is peppering children's piss into the atmosphere, and we're looking into that. The problem is he entertains these cuckoo crazy theories, and he's always like blaming other departments, right? So he's like, I think the CIA is doing something. We're going to look into it.
That is not happening in my agency. You know, we don't do that. It's done, we think, by DARPA.
Oh, DARPA.
And
isn't that the evil organization in Lost? That's the Dharma Initiative.
And a lot of it now is coming out of the jet fuel.
Yes,
so, you know, those materials are put in jet fuel. I'm going to do everything in my power to stop it. We're bringing on somebody who's going to think only about that, find out who's doing it, and holding them accountable.
All right, great. Oh, I totally know who he should hire. Someone, if anyone has an in with RFK Jr., I've got the perfect employee for him to hire. They will take care of every last chemtrail, no problem.
I'll try to make this large cloud disappear with my psychic powers. Clear, disappear.
Chemtrails appear as clouds.
Clear, disappear. Clear.
Should be able to handle
Cleed
this. No
disappear.
problem.
Cleed disappear. Trying to make this cloud disappear. Cleed disappear. Cleed
Let's all help him.
Cleed disappear. Cleed.
All right. Chemtrails, short for chemical trails, are commonly mistaken for contrails, which are simply condensation trails that form when jet exhaust hits cold, moist air at high altitudes. Scientists have explained for years that these trails are composed of water vapor and tiny soot particles forming ice crystals that resemble thin clouds. Still, despite the wealth of evidence, a surprising number of Americans, around 10%, according to a 2017 study, believe in the chemtrail theory, while another 20 to 30% think it could be true. The theory has gained traction across the political spectrum in the past years, as we have all gotten stupider. It's more recently been associated with far-right ideology, mirroring Kennedy's own political shift. The audience member, identified only as Emily, cited fears about toxic substances like aluminum and strontium being sprayed into the atmosphere. Kennedy responded without skepticism, repeating the promise he made last year, in which he called chemtrails a crime that he was determined to stop. Later in the show, he also revisited claims about vaccine safety, particularly repeating the discredited link between the MMR vaccine and autism, though he refrained from his past rhetoric suggesting children with autism lack potential. He did claim that modern teenage boys now have testosterone and sperm levels on par with elderly men. That's a claim loosely based on studies, but exaggerated by RFK Jr. nonetheless.
Our boys today don't have enough cum in their ball sacks. I'm gonna fix that.
Like I said, I got to work on my RFK Jr. voice. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Friday. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. Love to hear from you freaks, and there are many ways to contact the show. You can always email me, show@distortedview.com. Our regular voicemail is 206-666-4463. Remember, if you pledge at least $5, though, you get access to a special voicemail line. As a matter of fact, we're going to start today with some patrons. Yes, caller?
Hello, faggot. Unicorn Hamster checking in one last time before the end of the week. Called in a couple times this week, but I promise this is going to be my last call until,
Well, yeah, I mean, you left this message on Thursday. So, yeah, there's no more times for you to call.
Mid-May or so. Anywho, I have to address this issue. I'm getting a bit annoyed with all this unicorn hamster hate. Half you idiot listeners spend too much time on the dick sword, and you need to, not judge because maybe I sound a little weird, okay? You don't know what kind of life I had and the trauma I experienced, okay? I'm the real freak. I put the D in distorted view, meaning I have the biggest dick of them all. I am the alpha male. Half you motherfucking listeners punch a card for 8 hours.
There's only one way to prove this. All you male freaks, send me your dick pics, and I will determine who has the largest penis.
Boss yell at you and go home to some fat slut you call a wife.
Oh, boy. You guys have angered Unicorn here. He's off and running.
Unicorn hamster never had no wife. I'm a breeder, and that's all I use women for. I also like to troll around in the fag realm, too, from time to time.
Oh, yeah. I always forget that about Unicorn.
Anywho, I love the audio with the elderly person setting a fire. And I'm here at...
Yeah, that was we played that yesterday. An elderly woman set fire to her apartment, and specifically her chair. She set fire to a chair and then sat down on the chair. And she's like, I burned my pussy.
A Walmart parking lot. And those near deads, so you hate being stuck behind the near deads. I cut them off when I'm trying to shop.
Oh my God, I was behind an old person today. It drove me fucking insane. So I was I was at a stoplight, but it was green, right? I was making a left, right? So it was a left arrow light. and those fucking left arrow lights don't last long, but it was green. I was like, yes, there's only one car in front of me. We're going through the light, but it was an old man, and he was going so slow, he didn't even make it through the turn. It turned red before he could get through. And so we were both stuck at this line. I was like, we had so much time. It was green.
For groceries.
It wasn't even like it was close to turning red, when we were approaching the light. It was green. It wasn't yellow.
But hopefully that does not happen. But love that audio of that elderly person.
Yeah, I like that too. That was pretty funny. Thank you very much, Unicorn Hamster. I don't know if he's going on vacation or something. He said he's going to be away until mid-May, I guess. So you guys who do not like Unicorn Hamster, you're going to get a little breather from him.
Hey, Tim. I'm just calling because you fucked up. You fucking retard.
All right, here we go.
You said on the 30th episode that it was Friday, but it's Wednesday. Today is Wednesday.
Wingman's on an episode of South Park. I already corrected this when we did the bonus segment on Wednesday. I explained myself. And then on Thursday's Sideshow exclusive program, I explained myself again. I'm not going to go through the whole fucking thing again. I made a mistake. I said Friday.
Fuck that up. Also, it's my girlfriend's birthday, so you should wish her a happy birthday.
No!
Also, you're fat.
All right, well, first of all, if you want me to wish someone a happy birthday, you should tell me their name so I can sing them a song or get Richard Simmons to, say, you don't know how to distorted view.
Hey, Tim, that segment you were discussing on the Wednesday show about Redditors wanting to update the emoji standard for new hairstyles and God knows what else.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what pisses me off about that. It's not so much about every Tamikwa and LaShonda wanting to have their own...
It's a little racist, but...
...special weaves and braids reflected in the little icons of the little people.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to want representation, like hair. I get it. Hair's important to some people, but they're emojis. They're not supposed to be lifelike. You know what I mean? They don't have to depict every fucking feature you have. I'm surprised people haven't complained about those, those signs that are up on the side of the road, like when there's school crossings and the depiction is like a mother walking her daughter. You know what I'm talking about? They have purses or lunch boxes. I'm surprised there's not people complaining that, like, why does it have to be a woman and a girl on the sign? Why is it always that? Why can't it be a father taking the son across the street, or father and daughter? Gendered school crossing signs. I guess it's okay if they're gendered, if it's females. Then we don't say anything. I'm going to start a campaign to get those fucking school crossings changed. I don't like that. I think, it's fucking 2025. Let's update that, please. All right.
They're black people and women. What are you going to do about it, right? That's just how they are. But the worst part about it really is that these fucking emojis, that little menu that pops down when you tap on the thing on your phone or on the text box on your computer, it's not something that's just stored in the cloud somewhere and refreshes on the fly. If they want to actually add new emoji slots, you need to download an entire fucking operating system update.
Yeah, that's why whenever there's a new iOS or Android, like one of the big updates will be like added new emojis.
And as we know, those always break shit. They make a couple of your apps stop working every fucking time. I've been trying to avoid iOS updating on my phone to 18 point something, even though there's a nag screen every single night that tries to force me into it.
I really want you to update.
Man, Redditors think that's worth it just to get some more fucking icons on their text messages.
Well, again, to be fair, this wasn't posted by an annoying Redditor. It was an ad on Reddit, and it was posted by Dove, the soap people. They're starting this campaign to get black women hair included in emojis, right? And not just like one style. They want afros, they want locks, they want dreads. And that means like updating every fucking emoji, every variation to include those hairstyles. Seems like a ridiculous waste if you ask me. But okay, whatever, Dove. Go ahead. Pander to your customers. They obviously want to go after like the black lady demographic. Why else would they be doing this? They're like, yeah, okay, let's corner that market. We'll try to push for afros and emojis. Makes a lot of sense. All right, that is all the time we have on this edition of the show. want you guys to email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-660. Oh, God, is it? Oh, God.
Would you go down on a woman who has the rag on?
Read the Distortion, STD. Tell all your friends about the show. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or like wherever you can rate and review podcasts. Later today, I will have a bonus segment podcast for Sideshow Freaks. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back on Monday to do this all over again. Until then, bye, everybody!
It's time for this week's featured podcast review on Apple Podcast. Today's review comes from Jeremy2467C, who gives DV 5 stars and says, I've been a listener for over 15 years. Love the show. I don't know anyone in my life I could recommend it to because of the content, sad, but I'm glad the show stuck it out through the years. I'll have to become a Sideshow Freak eventually. Here's hoping you finally pulled that trigger, Jeremy. And by that I mean I hope you pulled the trigger on becoming a Sideshow member, not pull the trigger of a gun up against your head. I don't want you... I hope you didn't die. I hope you're alive, and I hope you're a Sideshow member. Thank you for the review, Jeremy. We could sure use your help. Leave Distorted View a 5-star rating and review, and it might just be read by yours truly on an upcoming episode of the show. Hang out with other freaks in the Distorted View Daily Discord. Use the link on the name navigation bar as your invite in. Distorted View has a post office box. Send us all sorts of crap to Distorted View, P.O. Box 36268, Cincinnati, Ohio 45236. This is your announcer, Rodder Pay, reminding you if you have a never-ending case of jock itch, try the following. Soak your balls in apple cider vinegar. Apply coconut oil to your butthole. Slather your taint in tea tree oil, or just dip your shaft in a saltwater soak. The most important thing is to keep it clean, keep it dry, and don't post nudes on OnlyFans, because absolutely no one wants to see that. See you next week, freaks.
Have a great Friday, you motherfucker.
Maria Athens signing off.
This has been another excellent podcast from the Scribe Media Group. Learn more at scribe.net.